The BodyArmor LYTE Series East is back. We're here for the 5th race of the season, with a tie in the points lead coming into this race here tonight. Will that tie be broken around 50 laps here at the paperclip? Or will we see somebody else possibly take the points lead? It's going to be a fun race here on this Thursday night, leading up to tomorrow's STP Old Dominion 500 in the Wawa Cup Series. Tonight it's the Martinsville 200, 50 laps around the paperclip here in the BodyArmor LYTE Series East. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Martinsville Speedway here in Ridgeway, Virginia. We are here for the BodyArmor LYTE Series East, and it's the 5th race of the season for these drivers, and it is a BodyArmor LYTE Series East race, so no combination, though we do have 3 Pro Series drivers in this field. These series drivers on their own once again, and I know these drivers are excited to get it going here tonight because this is a Cup Series racetrack that some of these guys are getting a chance to race on for the first time. We're going to have to see how it all goes down here in this 50-lap event. Joined alongside Nathan Stablin and Ladovic Shred for the call of tonight's event. Nathan, you got your driver starting on the pole position there in the number 98 machine. What does Jared Martin need to do to hold onto the pole position here around this crazy half-mile racetrack here in South Central Virginia?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. This might be a half mile, but it can be very chaotic sometimes. We can see these guys slipping up the racetrack, getting to the outside wall, can see some bumping ones, can see some dive bombs, and we can see some tempo splitting here tonight. And if this being a short track series, this is the pinnacle of short tracks, basically, especially for these guys with this being a Cup Series racetrack. Track positions can be key. I think you want to start on the inside lane. If you're on the outside, you want to get to the bomb as quickly as possible. And as far as the 98 and one of my drivers, I feel like he could have a good shot of Jared Mullen. Also, like, able to start on the inside lane. But regardless, the inside lane is where you want to be. And we'll see how fast those drivers on the top side can get to the bottom.
And for you, Ladovic, of course, you're going to be racing in the Cup Series race tomorrow, so I know you're going to be watching, seeing how this race plays out, but you're also an owner here in the East Series. And Dylan Matthews starting outside lane, Joshua Neely a little bit further back. What do those drivers need to do to have an opportunity to move their way through the field as this race goes along?
Well, you got to get down as soon as possible to the inside, because the outside is not the place to be here on this racetrack. And you got to try to avoid that wall, because, I mean, if you hit it once, it's usually fine, but if you hit it repeatedly, then you can get in some trouble.
And of course, if you carry too much damage, that will affect the aerodynamics, will affect the way your car runs, and even on a place like this, a little bit of aero goes a long way, and you want to get as much speed as you can in the car. But one thing about this racetrack, and of course you've seen many races here in the past if you watched the channel for many years, this night version of Martinsville, there's a sweet spot of getting that grip in the corner, but lots of times these guys miss it and they slide up. We're going to see it in the Cup race tomorrow. I'm sure we saw it last night in the Sprint Series race. This is going to be a very crazy race in that regard, and I'm excited to see how that ends up playing out. We're going to see some guys get some Darlington stripes here at Martinsville and scrape that outside wall, but that's what makes this place so much fun. And hey, these LYTE Series drivers get to race on a Cup Series racetrack here tonight. A big opportunity for some of these guys, especially some of them who have never made a Cup Series start. Of course, guys like Alexander Rowe have been in the Cup Series before, but then we got some other guys who don't have that opportunity, have never had that opportunity, and they're going to have a chance of winning one of the biggest racetracks on the schedule. But we are here for the 5th race of the season. Like I mentioned, 4 races in, and this is how they line up in the championship standings. Anthony Hernandez, Ryosei Fujimoto both tied for the points lead, 25 points each. Hernandez has the advantage on the average finishing position by just a quarter of a spot right there. That could very well change after this race is done. Aaron Abel, our last winner at Winchester, is 2 points behind. Chris Reynolds is 6 points behind. Alexander Rowe, Kyle Craven, both 9 points behind coming into this race. Of course, only the top 10 finishers receive championship points, with 12 points going to the winner, 9 points to second, and so on. So excited to see how this race ends up shaking out here tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's Jared Martin starting on the pole position alongside Campbell Marsh in row number 1. We got Alexander Rowe and Ryosei Fujimoto in row number 2. Corey Case and Christian Vargas make up row 3. Aaron Abel, Dylan Matthews in row 4. Kyle Craven, BB Ruiz in row 5. Reggie Fogelman and Chris Reynolds in row 6. Anthony Hernandez, Joshua Neely in row 7, Josh Marzak, and Andrew Williams. Will he finish the race? I hope he does. They are in row number 8. And from the Pro Series, Jack Haas in the 57, Sergio Alonso in the 23, and Carson Miller in the 21, joining us here tonight for a 19-car field, 50 laps at the Martinsville Speedway. Before we give these guys a roll off, I'm going to ask you, Nathan, and then Ladovic, who's going to victory lane here tonight in this Martinsville 200.
Well, I really, really like the track position here, and I really like the driver who starts third. He's been on a roll so far in the Sprint Series. I think he might get another one here tonight. Already 2 wins in the Sprint Series, and we'll see if he gets another win on the channel here tonight at Martinsville.
I'm gonna go for the driver of the car 97, Aaron Abel. I feel like starting in 7th, that's a good spot to start at, and then I mean, yeah, I feel like NS has been a really good team, a really underrated team for this year and even last year in the. Yeah, so yes, I feel like they have a chance. I feel like Aaron Abel is a good driver, and he's third in points. He could take the race, the points lead. So I'm sure that that'll motivate him as well. So yes, I think he's going to win here today.
We'll have to see. Of course, NS Racing has been on a good streak as of late. Of course, Aaron Abel won the last race here in the East Series, and it's Jared Martin leading us off in the 98. Let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off here from Martinsville. And it's going to be a fun race. 50 laps here tonight around this Martinsville Speedway. Of course, last night we had the Sprint Series. I'm sure that was a great race, Nathan, even though you haven't recorded it yet as of the time of us recording this race. We go out of order a little bit. And of course, tomorrow night, the STP Old Dominion 500 in the Wall Walk Cup Series is always a fun one. 125 laps here at Martinsville Speedway. And the guy who won that race last year is Jack Haas, and he's in this race here tonight, getting a little bit of practice before tomorrow night's big race. Not sure where he qualified, but we had qualifying a little bit earlier tonight. I'm sure he's got a good starting position for this race tomorrow. But tonight, it's only 50 laps, no pit stops in this one. These guys are going to be sliding around all over the place here. It's going to be a lot of fun here as the LYTE Series East is back. We're here at the Martinsville Speedway. Jared Martin and Campbell Marsh going to lead us off. It's the LYTE Series Night in America here at the Paperclip. Jared Martin going to get off to a good start right there. Lead lap number 1. Here comes Alex in a row for 2nd. Here comes Corey Case on Fujimoto there for 4th. And these guys really dive it in. Almost thought we had a caution. We do not. No lights on the pace car. We're all good to go. Jared Martin, Alex in a row, Campbell Marsh, and Ryosei Fujimoto. That is the top 5 right now. Jared Martin going to hold on. But both the Railfan Motorsports cars right there, 2nd and 3rd. A good run for those guys so far to start this race off.
Absolutely a great start from Bradley's team right there, 2nd and 3rd. And a good start from everyone. So far, Anthony Marsh might move to number 4 of Fujimoto. Not quite. I think it's something that I'm sure we saw in the sprint race last night. And then, of course, tonight, as Alexander was going to move my guy, German, in 1 and 2. And probably going to do that here tomorrow night. This is what track is good? Doorbane 3 and 4. Welcome to Martinsville, Chairman. And Alexander Rowe is going to lead that lap.
Alexander Rowe looking very strong here in the number 40 machine. Going to watch that 98 up the racetrack. Campbell Marsh going to close back in. Corey Case was getting to the back bumper of Fujimoto. Couldn't quite get it. Aaron Abel, Kyle Craven, Christian Vargas, Dylan Matthews in the points right now. Reggie Fogelman with the last point as of the moment. Of course, these Pro Series drivers in these races, as we got a crossover for the lead again. Jared Martin back on Alexander Rowe, and this is something we're going to see tomorrow night as well in the Cup Series race. And let me tell you, after that great race we had at Homestead last week, I'm looking forward to this one as well. We're going to have a couple of bangers in a row in the Wawa Cup Series. And we're going to have a banger here tonight as well. That 98 looking to the inside of Alexander Rowe, and here comes Campbell Morrison to join this battle here shortly. They're still side by side for the race lead here on lap 7.
They're very aggressive here at the start, and that's very interesting. They're this aggressive, but hey, it gives her good racing. That's good. Already a massive gap between the top 3 and the rest of the group for a 50 laps race. It's gonna be very hard for these guys to come back, especially if there is no caution. And even though they've been very aggressive, they've been really clean. In there's not a lot of contacts. There's not a lot of people hitting the wall, so that's very good. That usually is the sign of a long green flag run and maybe no cautions this race. So yes, very. I was scared I was going to jinx it there, but yes, and I think that 4 doesn't seem to have a lot of speed and may be holding up the guys behind. So if I'm in that 8 or that 97, I'm gonna try to move that 4 very quickly here because well, and that's what they're doing now. Because yes, otherwise they're not gonna come back at all. That 4 doesn't look very quick here.
And Corey Case, I think, has a lot more speed. There is some contact right there, and I don't know, this is one of those races, we only have 19 cars on the racetrack right now, but it doesn't take 19 cars to have a wreck. It only takes 2, and you know, these guys are racing very hard. How about Aaron Abel? He's moved up very well in this race. Of course, started in the 7th position, about to take 5th away here from Ryosuke Fujimoto, trying to take the points lead, and Fujimoto is ahead of him in the points right there. The way they currently run, it'll be a 1-point lead for Fujimoto as of right now. But still a long ways left to go in this race. Anthony Hernandez not with a good run to start this one outside of the points right now in that 73 machine after winning the opening race of the season at New Smyrna. And Carson Miller there. And none of the Pro Series drivers are actually really doing that good of a job, but it's actually important to realize that the Pro Series drivers and the East Series drivers have had the same number of ratings adjustments at this point in the season. Now, once we get later on in the season, the Pro Series drivers will have a lot more. But both of the series have started off kind of slow, and especially the Pro Series. So guys like Jack Haas and Sergio Alonso and Carson Miller have not necessarily had too good of an advantage, if any, on the rest of these guys here tonight, because they've only had 5 ratings adjustments themselves, along with these E-Series drivers. And to top that all off, Martinsville's a tough place to work your way from the back to the front. Though we get a lot of great racing here around this racetrack, you tend to not see guys just fly through the field like we did, say, at Winchester or New Smyrna. This is a tough place to really work your way through the field, and you absolutely have to earn it. And Aaron Abel trying to do so. Looking to the inside of Corey Case, no momentum right there, as Alex Inero continues to lead here on lap 15 of 50.
So far, the Steeple Jinx is not in effect. Alex Inero doing a great job in the race lead. German doing a good job in second. The 6th of Campbell Marsh, I got the 6 and 8 mixed up, the 8 of Corey Case back there in the battle with Aaron Abel. Looks like they might have gone into the outside wall, might have a little bit of damage, and meanwhile, this is just crazy stuff in the middle of the field. Martinsville is a very racy half-mile short track, and we are seeing some fantastic battles. That number 21 of Carson Miller is moving up a little bit, but I don't know, he might be able to get a top 10, but I don't think he's going to really contend for the race win either. I think the top 5 might be the fastest 5 here tonight.
I think the top 3 are going to be some of the fastest cars here tonight. You got Kyle Craven making a move on Ryosuke Fujimoto right there. Dylan Matthews trying to move her way up in the 64 as well, and that 4 machine really cut down off the wall there. And I have a feeling it's only a matter of time before somebody makes a mistake and we get a yellow flag in this race. Just the way they've been cutting each other and sliding around. And Alex Inero does not want to see that. He's got a 1.2 second lead now on Jared Martin here at Martinsville Speedway. And if this thing stays, well, he can't take himself out either. And just to your point, Ladovic, you said earlier on, these guys could overshoot, hit that outside wall. Corey Case has already done so. Oh no, Jared Martin with a mechanical issue, and that right there will be our first caution of the night. That is such a shame. Just like MAL Racing at Winchester, both of their cars got taken out because of mechanical issues. And keep in mind, this is a spec series. All these cars are on the same owner's ratings. Oh, that's got to hurt for Jared Martin. He was running 2nd at the time, but it's going to give his teammate Aaron Abel a shot at the win. So, double-edged sword for you, Nathan.
That was unfortunate. Jared Martin's had a struggling season. I feel like he's had a lot of bad luck here in the E-Series. Was 20th from the point standings. And his average finish was 16.5, and he was running 2nd. And unfortunately, that's going to worsen his average finish. That's disappointing. I'm glad for Aaron Abel because he gets a restart, but I'm disappointed that is how we get a restart. Tough break. But that's the way it crumbles sometimes.
Well, we'll quickly review what happened to the 98 of Jared Martin and get back to racing here in the Martinsville 200 and the BodyArmor LYTE Series East. quickly show this 98 machine here. And we kind of showed this live, but tire going down here on Jared Martin. And stopping on the racetrack, bringing out our first caution of the night here at the Martinsville Speedway. Tough break for Jared Martin. Had a really solid run going for him here in this one, and he is going to go home more than likely without any points, though he will be out there on the racetrack, albeit a lap down at this point in the race. A tough break there for the 98 of Jared Martin. Alex in a row is going to have to fend off Campbell Marsh, Aaron Abel, Corey Case on this restart. Let's see how it all goes down here when we get back to racing at the Martinsville Speedway. And we're back here at the Martinsville Speedway on a Thursday night. Hope you all are enjoying your Thursday evening here. Got some great racing here in the BodyArmor LYTE Series East, leading up to tomorrow's STP Old Dominion 500 in the Wall Walk Cup Series. Jared Martin actually had a tire go down, which is better than an internal mechanical issue. However, he will be one lap down after had to pit to repair that tire. If things get crazy enough, we might have a shot, but only got ourselves coming to the line. 27 laps to go in this race with Alex in a row, Campbell Marsh, Aaron Abel, Corey Case, and Kyle Craven. The top five back underway here at the Martinsville Speedway in the BodyArmor LYTE Series East. Good move there for Fujimoto to the inside of Kyle Craven for a top five run. A really good jump there for Alex in a row at the restart.
Not surprised from Alexander. He's been, I think, the fastest car here tonight, and hopefully the same does not happen to him. And that is why I did not pit one of my drivers, because I did not want to change them. But
well, it didn't matter.
You know who's really yeah, it didn't matter. But you know who's really happy right now? Is Bradley. Both of his cars are 1-2 for now, because it looks like Aaron Abel might be all over the back of Campbell Marsh here soon. Oh, the 40 goes way wide in 1 and 2. He cannot be doing that, and that's going to allow second, third, maybe fourth to close in.
He is really diving it into those corners really deep, and you know, tire wear is not a huge factor here, but these guys really have to depend on him going into these corners. And like I said, if you don't hit that corner correctly, you're going to shoot right up, and that's what Alex in a row's done the past couple of laps, though. It really hasn't mattered. He's been getting some good speed off the corner here, and he's still got 0.8 of a second on his teammate right now. Alex in a row in third, and then, or Aaron Abel, excuse me. Alex in a row still leading. Aaron Abel is third. Now I've gotten them confused, Nathan. And there is Corey Case. A great run for Corey here tonight. Kyle Craven and Ryosu Fujimoto still battling there for the 5th position. A bit of a gap right there. We kind of saw that at the start of the race as well. Then it's Dylan Matthews. Chris Reynolds in the top 10. Reggie Fogelman and Christian Vargas. And you got Carson Miller trying to spoil these guys and get some points here in the East Series as a Pro Series driver.
Honestly, I would disagree that the strat that Alexander Rowe seems to be doing of going wide at the exit of the corner is a bad strategy. If his car has enough traction, and it seems like his car is really hooked up today, you can actually gain time at this racetrack, because you come in with such good straight line speed that, yeah, you can really make up time if you go wide and you have a good enough car. If you were in a battle and the space was like less than half of a second, it would be bad, because it would give an opportunity for someone to go to the inside. But that doesn't seem to be the case, because it's a second and a half right now. So yes, I think Alexander Rowe, by being so far ahead of everyone, has an advantage and can gain even more time.
Some good battles back in here. Chris Reynolds trying to get some points. He's 4th in the standings. Only 6 points behind both Fujimoto and Hernandez. And Fujimoto's slipping back right there. And Chris Reynolds has an opportunity of taking 2nd in the points. Of course, Aaron Abel is ahead and has a very good opportunity at taking that points lead 5 races in. Going to be a third of the way through the season for these guys in the East Series after this race tonight. Our next race going to be at South Boston Speedway sometime in April. I don't remember the exact date. You'll see that at the end of the video there when we have the next race up. Dylan Matthews and Chris Reynolds still going after it. A great battle here for what is the 6th position, and Reggie Fogelman's going to join it and make it 3 wide. Oh boy. Makes me nervous when they go 3 wide off the corner like that. That inside middle car tend to disagree on the real estate on the exit right there. Fogelman to the inside of Dylan Matthews now, and that is for the 7th position. Fujimoto trying to hold off Carson Miller in the 21, who's really been the only Pro Series driver who's been making ground in this race here tonight, though Jack Haas trying to work his way, Alonso as well. not having as much success. Corey Case on the back bumper of Aaron Abel for the 3rd position.
And he might have a shot to this 3rd spot. Abel 1's wide and 3 and 4. And I think Carson Miller is now in 10th, and I think he is going to steal some points from these series drivers. And he might get another one as he's going to do a slide job. Fujimoto did not like that with a little bumper tag there. And always seen some bumper getting tagged here. And gonna see that tomorrow, I'm sure, in the LYTE Cup Series race. Crossover move. Corey Case got past Aaron Abel, and now Abel back to the inside. That's the thing I really like about this version of Martinsville. You can have a really good battle where they swap positions back and forth for several laps. And it is not over, but it might be over for the race win. 2.5 seconds with 13 laps to go.
Got a lot of great battles going around this racetrack. Keep missing Corey Case and Aaron Abel swapping around right here. 2.4 seconds right now for Alexander Rowe in the number 40. Alexander Rowe, of course, a driver who has been around a long time. We're going to have that 10th anniversary race on Tuesday. He is in that race, and he's been a guy who's been very instrumental on this channel for so long. A Daytona 500 champion. Hope he can make it into the LYTE Cup Series next season as a full-time driver. I think he's got good potential at doing that. He's got good potential here in the LYTE Series East, possibly winning this title, especially after this performance here tonight. Look at what he's done here. Only 40 laps in, 2.6 seconds ahead of his teammate there of Campbell Marsh. 10 laps to go here in Martinsville for Alexander Rowe. It's not over yet. And we saw Jared Martin have that mechanical issue. It can happen to anybody here. That tire issue. I mean, tires are a part of the mechanics of the car, so, you know. Aaron Abel still battling with Corey Case. That's bringing Kyle Craven into this battle. Chris Reynolds and Reggie Fogelman battling. Carson Miller, Dylan Matthews. Fujimoto holding on to the last point with 9 laps to go here in Martinsville.
You know, I think there's 2 people happy after this race. Obviously, Alexander Rowe, so quick. Just so quick. 3 seconds in what, 20 laps? That is crazy. And and then there's also Aaron Abel, because he has been able to come back from the latter half of the top 10. Meanwhile, Fujimoto and Hernandez have not shown any speed today, and for the rest of the championship, considering the races that we're going to run later in the season, this isn't a good sign. This isn't a good sign when you're struggling to get a point and you're the points leader. Well, the points leaders, because there's 2. Yes, it isn't good for them. But yes, if I'm Aaron Abel, I'm very happy. If I'm Alexander Rowe, I'm just over the top here. Oh, and that was a heavy contact with the wall. I didn't see what car it was.
Well, no contact actually, but Campbell Marsh almost hit it. It's almost a 4-second lead now for Alexander Rowe here. And I don't even think Coda had this wide of a margin for the win. And Aaron Abel and Corey Case are still going after it for 3rd. Oh, they may really go after it. That was close. That was close. Aaron Abel thought better of it. Aaron's been around a while. I mean, so has Corey. Corey has a year of experience under his belt. These guys have been around long enough to know how to race cleanly. And they are putting on a great show. Alexander Rowe's out of here. And we're also about to hit the point of no return in this race as well. So, looking pretty good for the driver of the number 40. Bradley Ream looking to get an owner's win here tonight as well. Aaron Abel trying to take this points lead, and he's still not going to be able to fully pull away from Corey right here. But this is insane stuff, and this is stuff that we can see tomorrow night in the Cup Series race as well. And keep in mind, we got twice as many cars on the racetrack for that race tomorrow night, and over twice the amount of laps at 125 laps here. I'm really looking forward to the Cup race tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time right here on AG the channel. Corey Case still holding on to Aaron Abel's position right here. Aaron Abel thinks it's his position. They keep swapping it. But they're closing in. 2 laps to go as Alexander Rowe 4.5 seconds now. Will he hit the 5 seconds in this race? That 40 is just lights out here in Martinsville. As Aaron Abel's going to come around, take the white flag in the Martinsville 200 for Railfan Motorsports. And Aaron Abel trying to get to the inside of Corey Case for 3rd. Trying to get a podium position here in this one. Trying to take that points lead, though Alexander Rowe's also going to move up in the championship standings with this one. As a matter of fact, He might. Nah, he's not going to surpass Aaron Abel, but he's going to get the win. It's Aaron Abel winning here in the Martinsville 200 in the BodyArmor LYTE Series East. A dominating performance for the veteran driver. And here we go. Aaron Abel will get that third position at the line. And that's an extra point for Aaron Abel in his attempt to take the points lead, which I believe he will successfully do so here at the Martinsville Speedway.
That was the battle on the racetrack here tonight between Corey Case and Aaron Abel, especially after the restart. That was some classic short track racing. Very clean, a little bit of contact, a great battle for third, and a dominating one from Allison in a row. And I picked another one. It seems like I either picked the winner or I jinxed him. I did not jinx Allison in a row here tonight. And he is doing it in dominating fashion.
And he gets it. He earned that one, no doubt about it there for Railfan Motorsports and Bradley Riemann. They got a 1-2 finish, which is going to be good for them in the owner standings as well. That was some fun stuff right there. Very close margin between Aaron Abel and Corey Case for that third position, and every point matters in this series, and that extra point for Aaron Abel could win him the championship come October. We'll see if that ends up being the case. But Alexander Rowe, he's going to be up there in the championship standings as well, and neither of our points leaders even got a championship point here tonight. Chris Reynolds had a good run. Alexander Rowe, of course, won the race. Aaron Abel got a top 3. Kyle Craven was top 5. Campbell Marsh was up there. All those guys behind Hernandez and Fujimoto got points here tonight, and that championship battle is going to look a little bit different once we're done with this one. But thoughts on this one, Ladovic? Of course, you're going to be in that Cup Series race tomorrow. What did you take away from what you saw tonight, and how do you think you're going to apply that in the STP Old Dominion 500 tomorrow night?
I mean, it's gonna be interesting if the racing is this aggressive. Otherwise, it's not, there's the difference in rating points and the number of ratings that we've done in the Wawa Cup Series in comparison to this is so wide that I think it's gonna be very different. You probably won't see a guy 5 seconds ahead after 50 laps. But yes, I think it's gonna be maybe closer than this. I'm very curious as to what Pacific Racing is gonna do in the Wawa Cup Series. But yes, if the racing's this aggressive, I'm kind of scared it'll be a caution fest with double the amount of cars. Hopefully it isn't. Crossing my fingers. But yes, and I don't know which position I'm starting in. I'm gonna assume I'm starting farther back. And if that's the case, I'm not looking forward to this because it looks like it's going to be a very difficult one to come back from the back.
I think you have the best average starting position of anyone in the field going into Martinsville. I have yet to record a qualifying. You guys have seen that, of course, but you're actually a very good qualifier, so...
Well, yeah, but short track.
It's hard on yourself. It's all good. Well, Alexander Rowe gets it done here at Martinsville Speedway. Campbell Marsh with second place. Aaron Abel, Corey Case, Kyle Craven, Chris Reynolds, Carson Miller, Reggie Fogelman, Jack Haas, and Dylan Matthews all receiving championship points here tonight. Andrew Williams still without any points. I don't know. I don't know what he's got to do. He's got to do something. You got to get something, man. Hey, our next race at South Boston here in the LYTE Series. I still didn't look up to see when that is. You see that on your screen, obviously, when that race will be. And, of course, tomorrow night we got ourselves the STP Old Dominion 500. And on Saturday... That's this coming weekend is Lime Rock, right? Or was that last week? I can't remember when Caleb had that scheduled. Do you know, Nathan?
I do not.
Well, it was either last Saturday or tomorrow or this Saturday. But you guys will already know that answer. If you didn't see it last Saturday, it's this Saturday. IndyCar from Lime Rock. Going to be a lot of fun. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to Nathan Stapleton and Ladovic for joining me in the booth for this one. And congratulations to Alexander Rowe on his race victory here at the Martinsville Speedway. Here are the points for the BodyArmor LYTE Series East after 5 races. And I will see you guys later.